How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to those returning. Welcome to anybody who's new. And more importantly, welcome back to Sporcle Sunday. Yet another episode. Today's is going to be a little bit of a buzzer beater edition. I'm recording this at about 10:50 Sunday morning, of course, June 15th. So this one's going right on the air. So if I do bad, feel free to make fun of me in the comments. But for anybody who's new, it's a pretty simple show. We're going to do 3 Sporcle quizzes today. Today is going to be mostly motorsports themed. Actually, I think 2 of these are NASCAR quizzes. And then we're going to have a bonus quiz at the very end. Perfectly honest with you, I'm not entirely sure what the last quiz is, but we'll get to that a little later. But for now, the first one's going to be best NASCAR driver for each car number. This is by Hawkeye 2. I have not played this yet. Let's take a scroll down here. No high score. The Sporcle bot got 22 out of, 47? So a little less than half. Not too bad. Some of these will be layups, like, I'm not going to assess the numbers necessarily, but some of these, come on, you know, your legends of the sport, your Dale Earnhardts, your Jeff Gordon, so on and so forth, those are going to be easy. When we get to some of the more obscure numbers, we might be struggling, but there's only one way to find out, so let's jump right in. Number 1, I'm inclined to say Steve Park, but I know that's not true. Wow, it is, what? Jamie McMurray won a Daytona 500 and a Brickyard 400, okay. This almost certainly has to be Rusty Wallace, right? Okay, cool. Dale Earnhardt. Also, before I inevitably get comments about this, I apologize for the keyboard noises. There's really no way to get rid of that without moving my... What? When was this made? This can't be correct anymore. Last played 2011. When was this last updated? Does it show me? Oh, okay, well, then that's not great. Sterling Marlin, you won a couple 500s in this car. No? Okay, we're going to have to move on. This has to be... Well, it's Kyle Larson, but I don't think this was made in time. Yeah, no. So is it going to be Terry Labonte or is it going to be Kyle Busch? Okay, it's Terry Labonte. That makes sense. This has got to be Mark Martin. 7. Ooh. And also, I know I'm going to get comments saying this too. Oh, Kyle, you're missing so-and-so who raced NASCAR in 1960. You know what? I might. I just might. But, you know, I wasn't around back then, so forgive me. I'm really doing my best here. Is this going to be Alan Kulwicki? Oops, that's not how you spell it. Okay, that makes sense at least. Certainly this isn't Dale Earnhardt Jr., but with the way the rest of this quiz has gone, yep, here we go. All right, well, this one probably just should be Bill Elliott. Let's see. It is. Okay, cool. Is this Ricky Rudd? Okay. It should be Denny Hamlin. It might not be. It's not Denny Hamlin. That's incorrect at this point. I'm going to assume this was made in, like, 2011, because that's what it said down on the bottom for the quiz, or for the bot when they took it. I have to believe that's what's going on. Oh, this is probably Darrell Waltrip anyway. What am I talking about? Forget that. I apologize. Sorry, DW. This probably shouldn't be Ryan Newman, but it's probably going to be. And here we go. 14. Of course, as we know today, that's probably going to be Tony Stewart. But it's not going to be him by the time this quiz was made. I know the Foyts ran the 14 quite a bit, or at least one of the Foyts. AJ Foyt, or not AJ Foyt, Larry Foyt, pardon me, ran the 14. But he's definitely not the best of the 14. I'm going to skip this one. Nobody is immediately jumping to mind for some reason right now. I mean, it could be Michael Waltrip. I don't think it's going to be. But, okay, it probably isn't good. This is a Bud Moore car. Who drove that car? I can visualize the car. I just can't visualize who's driving it. We're going to skip. 16. This might actually just unironically be Greg Biffle even right now. This is Matt Kenseth no matter what era. Kyle Busch certainly belongs here, right? Right? What? All right, it's going to be Bobby Labonte then. I can forgive that. He at least won a championship. 19. Okay. So who drove the 19 car that I can remember? Jeremy Mayfield. It's not going to be him. Casey Atwood. It's not going to be him. Elliott Sadler. It shouldn't be Elliott Sadler. Okay, it's not. Thank goodness. Unless I need his first name. Okay. No offense to Elliott. He's just not the best to drive with that number. Is there somebody that I'm missing? Really, obviously Martin Truex, but that was after the fact. If I didn't have Tony Stewart in the 14, it's not going to be Martin Truex in the 19. And it wouldn't be Carl Edwards either, for that matter. All right, we're going to skip. 20. This certainly has to be Tony Stewart. Okay, cool. This has to be Pearson. Okay. This might be Ward Burton, but it's probably Logano these days. Yeah. Oh, wait, I probably got to flip the first name. Okay, no. And here's where I miss really, really obvious people. Clearly, this quiz is oriented more like for like the early 2000s, you know, as people who grew up in that era of NASCAR, because it seems like that's where most of these names fell. Obviously, Alan Kulwicki, you know, David Pearson weren't around there, but those are absolute legends of the sport. We're going to skip this one. This is Jeff Gordon. Let's get the easy ones out of the way. This one, is it Tim Richmond? It probably should be. Okay, at least that makes sense. 26. Some of these numbers are just like oddballs because you don't really think of them too much. This could be McMurray based on the time period. No. Wait, I keep forgetting. Quizzes where I have to type the first name will be the death of me. All right, we're going to skip for now. We might come back to that one. 27. This might also be Rusty Wallace, actually. Is it? It is. Okay, cool. 28. This one might be a little controversial, but I'm going to say Davey Allison. It probably should be. Okay, cool. I was going to be a little mad if it wasn't. This is Kevin Harvick, no doubt about it. This, 31. I associate this with Jeff Burton the most. I'm not sure if that's actually the best driver to drive with this number. We're going to try, though. Why not? Jeff Burton. All right, cool. I'm just going to type Ricky Craven in hopes of this being the answer. It is awesome. Shout out Ricky Craven. Great driver. He didn't really have a lot of wins on the national level, but if you know what Ricky Craven was capable of elsewhere, absolute wheelman. 33. That feels like a very Harry Gant. What am I talking about? 38. This will probably be Elliott Sadler. 39. Now, this day and age, we know that to be Ryan Newman, and it might even be because he started that in 2009. So let's try it, actually. Ryan Newman. All right, cool. That makes sense to me. This has got to be Sterling Marlin if the 4 wasn't. 42. This is probably Jamie McMurray. It's not. That means I'm forgetting somebody obvious. When I have to like think back through eras like this to other times people drove these car numbers, for some reason my brain just disconnects. I don't make those associations at all. I'm sure once I think about like drivers that were really, really prominent back in the day, the names that are missing here are going to pop up. But in this particular context, I am doing not great. We're going to skip, and this is Richard Petty. Oh, what am I talking about? This is Lee Petty, isn't it? Oh, it's not. Okay. All right, it was worth a shot. 44. This might just be Kyle Petty. Let's see. It's not. 44. This might be Terry Labonte. It is Terry Labonte. Okay, cool. That makes sense. 47. Did anybody have significance in this number? Like, no offense. I know Stenhouse won a Daytona 500 in that car number. That obviously happened well after this quiz was made. That can't be here. I know Ambrose drove the car back then, but I don't think he would have been on here. He didn't even win in that car. Okay, no. Ron Bouchard? Oh, God. I'm not going to be able to spell that. I'm going to try the... Wow, first try. We'll take it. This is Jimmy Johnson. 71. Dave Marcus. Let's go. What a pull by me. 72. Ooh, this one's going to be tough. The only 72 that jumps to mind as far as real NASCAR cars is Cole Witt in that random TriStar car in 2017. But I know that's not the answer. And I know there's probably a very obvious 72 that I'm... Oh, Benny Parsons, isn't it? There we go. We got there one at a time. 75. And it's not Bobby Gerhart. Dude, I have no chance to get in this one, I don't think. These numbers kind of were more so used in the early days of NASCAR. You don't see it, your 75s, your 72s anymore as much. I might be able to pull this one. This one, there's something clicking here. I just haven't put it all together yet. 83. This is probably going to get put as Brian Vickers. I'm not sure if that's actually the best driver to use that number, but hey, this has to be Dale Jarrett. Won a championship and everything for that car number. No offense to Dale Jr. He did pretty well too. Let's see. This is the coffee sponsored car, or at least it was. That probably isn't the era that they're talking about here. 90 is such an obscure number. I can't visualize anybody like past like some of the back markers in Xfinity running this. No offense if you ran the 90, sorry. But nonetheless, that's not really a number you see up front too often. So this is kind of eluding me as far as who the best is. We're gonna skip. This has got to be Kurt Busch. Certainly won't be Chad Little. 98. There's no way they put Paul Menard here, right? Certainly not. Okay. In that case, I associate these numbers with Paul Menard and Marco Andretti exclusively, so this is going to be a little bit of a tough one. I might be able to pull that a little bit later. And then we have Carl Edwards. Ooh, and now the thinking game begins. Who could have been in this 4 car? All right, so let's take a look here. Robbie Gordon was in here at one point. It's not going to be him. He got fired and everything. Wouldn't be him. Who else drove that car? It was Mike Skinner for a little while. There's no way Mike Skinner's on here. Okay, thank goodness. No offense to Mike Skinner. He was a great Truck Series driver, a legend in that series. I know he does a lot of cool stuff with his truck, even at Goodwood still. That being said, not a good time to be in that team. That team shut down. That was like the last year, Pontiac and everything. That was a bad time to be with Morgan McClure. Who? Oh, I know I'm forgetting somebody. So, is it Bobby Hamilton? Is that who I'm forgetting here? It's not. Okay. All right, we're going to skip this one. Let's focus on 14. Who else drove a 14 car? Obviously, you had Larry Foyt. Who was before Larry Foyt? Because it's certainly not after if it's not Tony Stewart. Okay. I can visualize... Let me just try putting in... I'm going to put in all these Foyt names because I know there was, like, several generations of them, and some... I think there were a couple AJs along the way, if I'm not mistaken. Forgive me for not having that down pat, but I don't really have all of their familial history memorized. This is the most confusing thing to me, though, because I can see the car in my brain. I know who it is, I just don't know who it is, and it's going to kill me. And I'm going to be so unbelievably mad when this answer pops up and it's wrong, and I knew the answer. Same goes for this 19 and 22. Those feel like layups, and somehow I'm just not putting it together. All right, I associate Bobby Allison. Oh, Bobby Allison is the 22, and he might even be the 15, but this is definitely Bobby Allison. I don't know why I didn't think about that before. Is he also the 15? Because I know he drove that for a little while. He is. Okay. Okay, I didn't embarrass myself. I saved it. I still actually might have embarrassed myself looking at some of the rest of these, but we got 2 more. That puts us up to 39. This is going real well. I'm not super duper confident in the rest of these. 42. If this isn't Casey or Jamie McMurray, there's no way it's Casey Mears. Is it Juan? Juan did win a race. I made the chase one time and went pretty far. It's not Juan. Gosh, some of these are going to kill me if I don't get 100% on this. Who drove the 90? There's some of these I've wrote off. The 98, I'm never going to get the 98. There's no chance in hell. The 20, oh, I can click these. I don't actually have to hit the arrows. The 26, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get. 75, pretty sure I'm not going to get. The 90, the 42, and the 19, and the 4 feel possible. 14, you know, we'll see. We've definitely got our work cut out for us here. I want to get at least, like, over 40. I think that's possible. We can at least get one more if we really put our minds to it. Let me see. Potentially the number 4. The 4, this is one that jumps out the most to me. So I'm going to focus on this. Who drove the 4 car that did well? And it's not Sterling Marlin. So that's the craziest part because he won Daytona 500s in that. It's not him. If I go based on the time frame it seems this quiz was made, it's not that driver. It's not Kevin Harvick because this quiz was made before he got in the car. So I'm going to have to rack my brain here. Who was the best NASCAR driver to drive the 4 car? I really don't know. I'm trying to see if maybe, like, just having one of the numbers turn into bold, like, unlock something in my brain. It hasn't so far, but, maybe I just messed this up. Maybe it's Bobby Hamilton Jr. and I'm misremembering, but I could have swore it was Senior that drove this car. Alright, well, that's wrong, too. Who else? I know Johnny Benson, okay, cool. In that 1993 crash, he flipped over what I thought, at least, was a Morgan McClure car in a Busch Series race. I didn't know if maybe he drove the car and I'm just forgetting. Who else drove this thing? I said Robbie Gordon. I said Sterling Marlin. Did I say Ernie Irvan? Let's go! Let's go. 40 out of 47. That might be where the road ends. 22 seconds left. Do any of these immediately jump to mind? This 19 is messing me up so bad because I can only envision specifically the Evernham/Richard Petty 19. And it's none of those people. So who could this be? I think I'm going to call it a couple seconds early. I'm not getting one of these. What were we wrong about? What? Tony Stewart at the 14. And Jeremy Mayfield. What? Did I not guess these? Ricky Rudd at 26. That's on me. I'll take the loss. That's my fault. Kyle Petty in the 42. Oh, no. I put his name down for the 44 and then just forgot about him. Okay. Neil Bonnet in the 75. That makes complete sense. I forgot about that car. It's the Valvoline 75. I can envision it and everything. John Andretti in the 98 was a little before I had, you know, a cognitive brain that could actually memorize things. I was technically watching NASCAR, I think, when he was in that car a little bit, but it was very, very, very briefly, and I was quite literally a newborn. So forgive me for that one. I'm not too embarrassed or upset by this performance, though. 85% versus 49% being the average. That's way, way better. Yeah, the 18 more correct than the bot. And the bot is literally the internet. It could just look it up if it wants to, and that's still the best it could do. So not too mad at it. Hawkeye 2, thank you for the quiz. And after the cut, we'll be back with quiz number 2. All right, everybody. Here we are with yet another quiz. This one might be just as difficult. This is the second place finisher in the championship every single year since 1970. This, of course, made by Nick98100. Thank you for this quiz. I see it right here. It says Chase/playoffs included. That is very, very promising in the sense that I think it's going to be made a little bit more modern. Okay, here we go. Maybe I just couldn't see this the last time before. This has been last updated on June 1st, 2025. So that means this was made in the last week or 2 weeks ago, actually, to the day. So should be completely updated. Go scrolling down here. This would have also been really easy to check. 2024 is on here. So every single driver to finish second in the championship since 1970. I think once we get to 2014, the playoff era, I'm going to really, really be in trouble because at that point, points don't matter. It's just whoever finished second in that race. Whereas all the times where it was points, or at the very least the chase, I'm pretty confident I can remember who was doing well that year and maybe pull most of them out. Obviously, the ones before I was born, essentially this entire left side, your guess is as good as mine. But nonetheless, without further ado, we are going to... For anybody who watches basketball, we just had big trade news. Desmond Bane to the Magic for KCP, presumably Cole Anthony. I can't read the whole Shams tweet. That's not for today, though. That's for a basketball video. You might even see a 2K rebuild come out soon regarding that. But without further ado, let's begin. 1970. I'm going to assume Pearson is on a lot of these. Do I have to type his first name? David Pearson? Okay. Evidently, he's not second for a lot of these. Maybe we'll sort of work backwards. I know Blaney is going to be here for last year. 2023 was Blaney's championship year. Was that Logano in second? No, but 2016 was. That's good to know. I'm assuming Hamlin will be... Oh, I thought he'd be on here a lot more. Clint Boyer was 2012. Kenseth will be 2013, if not more. 2006 as well. That's awesome. Mark Martin is probably going to be on here a bunch. Poor Mark. Kevin Harvick is probably on here. Bush is going to get... Ooh, I thought there'd be more. Wow, okay. Perhaps Truex Jr., maybe I'll just put... Oh, there we go. Okay, so no dot. Good to know. Does that mean Earnhardt Jr. is not on here? Earnhardt Sr. is. Nope. Okay. Tony Stewart. Labonte. I was hoping that would get me some for Terry, too. It did not. Ricky Rudd's got to be on here. I'm going to put Allison on here. Just because I knew Bobby Allison to finish second a lot. I thought Davey did, too, at least once, but clearly I'm wrong. 2022 and 2023. Who are those Final Fours? That's probably the way I should think about this. Ross Chastain might be on here. Yeah, for 2022. That's what I thought. 2023 is Chase Elliott. Oh, but I got Bill for a bunch of them. That's cool. Larson. There we go. Okay, I feel more comfortable with that. 2020. Pardon me. Chase Elliott's championship year. That was also the COVID year, so that was a little weird all around. I know Kevin Harvick didn't make the Final Four famously. He tried to direct Kyle Busch on the last lap. It's not him. Who was in the Final Four that year besides Chase Elliott? It was him. Is Bowman in here? No. That would have been a crazy run from Bowman. I don't know why I even thought about that. Who else was in a Gibbs car this year? Hamlin, I already guessed. Kyle Busch, I already guessed. The 19 that year in 2020. Who was in that car? That was Truex. Already guessed him. It's not him. The 20 car was in 2020. Eric Jones. It's not him. It's not Bell either. Yeah, he was a rookie that year. It wouldn't have been Bell. Okay, cool. Hendrick cars. It wasn't... Larson wasn't in that car yet, actually. Hold on. Who was the other car? You had Bowman in the 88. You had Chase in the 9. You had... Byron was in the 24 at that point. It's not him, though. Unless I have to type both. Okay. And then there was another... Who was the other car? They had another car. The 48, Jimmy Johnson. Oh, I didn't say Jimmy Johnson yet. He's going to be here for some of these. Duh. I didn't also say Jeff Gordon. We're going to put him down. All right, Biffle. Who else is in some of those super teams back in the day? I said Mark Martin. I think Sterling Marlin might have been on here. Okay. No, 02 would have been the year, if anything, and he's not there for that year. All right, 2011. Who's good in Edwards? Duh. There we go. Carl Edwards, that's going to get us 2008 as well. 2014 was Ryan Newman. I remember that one because the Newmaning, he almost won the championship. All right, that gets us, if you don't want to count 2020, which to be fair, very weird year, so I'm not going to count it. That gets us back every year to 1997. This isn't Terry Labonte, is it? No, okay. 1997. Who was good in that frame? You had your Roush cars, you had your Hendrick cars. It wasn't Dale Earnhardt. Ernie Irvan? I just had him pop up in that last quiz. Oh, it's not him. That would have been a crazy pull. I didn't think he did that well. No offense to Ernie. People at the top of their game in 1997. I'm trying to envision who won races. And it's not a lot of names. So the fact that I haven't pulled this person is pretty embarrassing. Harry Gant might be on here for... Yeah, there we go. At least one of them. Maybe that's how I should think about it. Maybe I should look into this from the point of view of, like, who won championships and start guessing them. So, Kolwicki, I might have guessed him already. He might even be on here already. I guess Davey Allison. I guess Bill Elliott. Who else was in that famous Atlanta fight in 1992 for the championship? I'm forgetting one person, I think. Right? Am I forgetting somebody? No, I think I got all 5 of those, actually. Let's see. Who else won championships in this era? You had the 80s. Waltrip I didn't put on here. He's got to be... There we go. Bunch for DW. And we're doing great. 46 of 55. I'm going to take that and be pretty happy. But we can still do more. We can probably get this up to 50 if we really put our minds to it. 1980, and there's a lot in the 1970s. Who was really, really good in the 70s? Mitty Parsons might be here for a couple of these. No. I'm trying to think of people that were notable for one reason or another. There's no way Neil Bonnet's on here, right? He popped up in the last quiz. No. All right, everybody. 4 minutes left. We've made no more progress. This is getting pretty tough. The 2020 is staring at me. I'm going to be real mad if I don't get this because this was just 5 years ago. It being the COVID year, I think this was messing me up. I was unfortunately in the workforce that year, and I had a job that was considered essential, so that year kind of felt like a blur. Kind of felt like I was the only person left in society for a little while. And it's hard to remember the NASCAR facts from that year, besides some really key highlights. Back here, there's got to be at least 1 or 2 all-time greats that I'm just completely remembering, or not remembering, pardon me, because this was not an era that had a lot of parity. So I'm willing to bet a lot of these are the same names. Who was really, really good in the 70s, maybe even the 80s? Because for all I know, this could potentially even be some of the same people. Cale Yarborough is on here somewhere, for at least one of them. 3 of them. Oh my goodness. So he won 3 titles and he won... Did he win 3 titles? I might be mistaken about that. Later me, I'm going to go fact check that. Right now me, though, is going to just assume he's right. That's 3 more on the board. Wow, happy about that. So that puts us up to 49 out of 55. Incredible. I thought I was going to do much, much worse than that. But I guess I know NASCAR after all. Lo and behold, you know, I'm about 27 years into watching this. Only 28 years old myself, so you do the math. Been doing this essentially my whole life. I'm happy with these results here, and I'm happy to finally not embarrass myself in one of these G's. Although some of these are going to be pretty embarrassing once they pop up. This 2021 in particular, who else was good in that year? So let's see, 2020, I said the Roush cars, or not the Roush cars, well, pardon me. For this era, I think I went over the Gibbs cars, I went over the Hendrick cars. 2311 didn't exist yet. Who else was the top dog that year? Penske cars, Logano. Did I say Logano? Yeah, Logano's on here. But Brad Keselowski I didn't say. Oh my gosh, how did I forget you? All right, well, there we go. That's going to clear the entire right side of the board. Now to lock in on this left side. 1997 was pretty recent. Who else was prominent in 1997? I already said Jeff Gordon. I already said Mark Martin. I know in 1998 they went on to win like a bajillion races between the two of them. Who did that in 1997? I said Dale Earnhardt as well. I said names like Terry Labonte. This is going to drive me crazy. This is the only one left that I lived through, pardon me, that I have not gotten right. Let's see. I think the more I think about that, the further off I'm going to get. 1975 and 71. That strikes me as probably being the same person, but I could be mistaken. Obviously, way before I was born, so who knows exactly what was going on there. But we're going to think about it. We still got ourselves 1 minute and 13 seconds to figure this out. I want to get at least one more, you know? I feel like there's enough time on the board. If I really put my mind to it, I'm going to be able to figure out who one of these or 2 of these are. Who was good in this era? Did I say Rusty Wallace? I might have... Oh, let's go! Let's go! All right, 2 more. That's awesome. 52 of 55. We could do this. 3 more. Let's lock in. 1997. Who was good? Who won the championships around then? Labonte, Gordon, Earnhardt. Dale Jarrett won a championship around then. Was he in the competition for this? Yes! 53. 1975 and 1971 are all that's remaining. Oh, if I pull this, I'm going to feel like a goddamn hero. Who won the 1971 or 75 championship? Who was good around that era? This is so hard to do given I wasn't born yet. So, who could it be? I feel like I've guessed, pardon me, every single, like, really notable name. I said Petty, I said Pearson, I said Yarborough. Who on earth was good around this time frame? Let me see. Gosh, this is so hard. Did I say the Bakers? It's too late. Oh, okay, so you got James Hilton. No offense to James, rest in peace. I would not have probably guessed him. And Dave Marcus, 1975. I didn't realize Dave Marcus had gotten that close to a Cup championship. Very impressive on his part. Wow. So our final score today for this one, 96%. I think maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe I'm forgetting one. I think that's the best we've done on any of these. So shout out to me on that. 53-55. Better than the average score, which is actually quite high in and of itself. So shout out to everybody else who took this too. Thanks again to Nick, 98-100. What did the bot do again? 45, and then just played it 2 weeks ago. So, not too bad. I'm pretty stoked about how this went. And without further ado, let's jump right into today's bonus quiz. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for today's bonus quiz, and this one is made just for me. Kansas Chaser 12 with this quiz. It was submitted the past few days, so I'm really excited to do this. And for those who might not know what a ladder quiz is, it's pretty simple. Eventually, I'm just going to use this because I have to explain it. Eventually, I'm going to click play quiz, and it's going to take me right here. The amount of tow car drivers. I'm going to have to put in an answer. That's going to give us our first word. From there should be kind of like a domino effect where this word has to do with the second word, which has to do with the third word, so on and so forth, until we get all the way through until the final question. This one, I'm not feeling confident in. I without trying to spoil it for myself, there's a lot of things I'm seeing here that I definitely don't know the answer to. So I'm hoping these words can bring me along. Oh, I can just type in whatever. Okay, cool. It doesn't have to be in order. That's good. Let me see. All right. You'll strike a punching bag with this. Fist. Okay, cool. I don't know why I'm not doing these order. How many tow car drivers? 84, 42, 40. Does it mean ever? Like of all time? I don't know. A container you put flowers in. A pot. Vase. Okay. Substances which react with acids. Ooh, man, we're really stretching my knowledge here. I see Mike's computer. That's Bessie. Old. Veteran. Oh, wait, are these all 4-letter words? Clot. Goat. I don't know what the Harold Clot one is then. Let me see. I'm assuming these are all going to be 4-letter words, given the rest of the answers are. An object you turn on. I think it's supposed to be off or on. Something that isn't stiff, soft. Stylish and cool. Enjoy the kind of safety. Wow, we are doing. This might be the lowest score we've ever done. I haven't even seen. What did the bot do? 16. Your guess is as good as mine. Piece of furniture. What? 4 letters. 4-letter piece of furniture. Chair, bed, table. I don't own furniture. I can't afford furniture in this market. Are you kidding me? I don't buy these things. Goodness gracious. Cable company. That should be easy. Verizon, Spectrum. It's not cable, but DirecTV. What other companies are there? I don't even know if this person's from the U.S., so that might not even be one I can pull. They say Kansas Chaser. I'm going to assume they're from the U.S. Hockey puck is shaped like this. A disc. Okay. Cable company. Dish. There we go. That's technically not a cable company, I guess. What Long John Silver? Fish? Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. Okay. So the letters are going to be mostly the same. So this is going to be either something close to disc. Piece of furniture. It's not clicking right now. An abbreviation of where you're going. Huh? Peer pressure is doing this. Is it sink? Okay. Swim. Burn. I don't know what Pierre is doing. I know he's in Lake Pierre. I know that much. How do you do to attract and something before you run the race? Grid? Ooh. Man, we're having a rough go of it. A playable character in Genshin Impact. I have never even opened that game, never downloaded that game, know absolutely nothing about that game, so no clue. Capital of Peru, I can pull that one though. Let me think here. Capital of Peru. Oh, my geography sucks in the first place. Once again, the American education system really failing me here. It's not coming to me. We're gonna skip that one for now. Let's see. Stylish and cool should be pretty obvious. An object to turn off and on. No, north, southbound. What could this mean? I don't. Man, this is as bad as these have ever gone for me. Some of these are just really going rough. Wow. I'm not sure why I'm not getting this one. The amount of tow car drivers, we have 84 total if you want to count both series. We have 42. It's got to be a word though. But the amount of tow car drivers, lots. I'm trying to think. Vast. Oh, okay. There we go. That I see what you're going for there. Vast vase. Vice. Let's see. Type of singing voice. It's I want to say it starts with the V. Maybe not. Dude, this is embarrassing. This is the worst I'm gonna ever do. None of these things are anything I know anything about. So, and then some of them like this, like I thought you were looking for a number here. I didn't know that would be anything close to what it was. Goodness gracious, this is an awful performance. Harold's Claude is this. What could that possibly mean? BESS. Best? Is it best? Oh, okay. All right. Best. Do this to an Ender 2003 track. Rest? Oh, well, there's rest. So I know it's the first letter. Lest. Test. You test the track. Oh my gosh. There we go. West, an abbreviation of where you're going. Is that could be it? No. All right. Well, this is awful. This is the worst one I'll ever do, hopefully. The worst for now, for sure. Substances which react with acids base. I did know about that, but let's just be real. I'm a dumb guy. Sorry. Doing my best here. Type of singing voice. Bass. Is it? I mean, I know bass is... I mean, I don't know. I associate that with instruments. I'm probably the one who's wrong, quite frankly. Desk. I've seen that before. Desk. Come on now, Kyle. That was an easy one. You just messed it up. You'd make this for chores list. Makes complete sense. A playable character in Genshin Impact. Lisa. Sure. Capital Peru. Lima. Oh, I knew that. I should have got that one. Rosalina Sidekick. Luma. Great. Type of cougar. Puma. Is that true? Is it actually a type of puma? Or a cougar? I didn't know that. Really on a safe tier. The pump. So easy. I should have got that one. That's on me completely. Stylish and cool pimp. I'm not sure that's what that is. I'm not even sure I can say that. We're going to maybe cover that one up on the video. Something that isn't stiff. Limp. Makes sense. An object to turn off and on. Lamp. Makes complete sense. Northbound, southbound. Ramp. I guess that means just for like, an interstate. I see where you're coming from there. This singer released the album Snow Angel in 2023. Rap. I'm not sure I know who that is. And that's a big L on my part. 10 of 25. Not as bad as I thought. 40% though, still pretty embarrassing. That's definitely a failing grade. Average is 68. That's pretty good on a lot of other people's part. I did much worse than the bot this time. Shout out to the bot. You really pulled it together there. But nonetheless, shout out to Kansas Chaser for this quiz. And shout out to you if you watched this far. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Sporcle Sunday. I'd really appreciate it. I have my Instagram and my X in the bio. I'm probably not going to be using X too much longer, quite frankly. But at least follow my Instagram. I probably have some cool stuff going on there pretty soon. If you'd like to follow the X, that's there too. And it's been another week of Sporcle Sunday. 2 pretty good quizzes. 1 absolute disaster. You'll have that sometimes. So without further ado, I'll see you next week. Until then, deuces.